we've got people coming in. Awesome. Already 15. Okay, people are coming in. Let's go with gallery view. Oh, look at all these lovely faces. And there's Joe. I got you.
Hey, Jennifer. It's Bob.
Yeah, Bob, hi. So glad you're here. Yeah. There. Hi, Ruth. Like, anything to share? We're gonna get started here in just a few minutes. This is
excited. My sister.
Yes. Yeah, I sent them an invite too. I figured you probably had sent them, forwarded an
Nancy and Frank.
Yeah. Oh, and I see.
I want to say hello to Lynn.
Yeah.
Hello, Lynn.
I like your inspiration page.
Isn't that awesome?
Oh, good.
I like your inspiration.
Nice. Thanks. Here and now. Hi, Christy. Glad you joined us. Yeah, Joan. Glad you're here. Yeah. Oh, Jim's coming in too. And this is exciting because it's a little bit of a different format than our classes have been up until now, and it feels really exciting to kind of switch it up and really zero in on things that we want to celebrate and acknowledge and support, share, inspire. So I really appreciate you all coming in to take part in this. And as always, we really want to hear from you to know what's really working for you or what you might like to see more of, that kind of thing. But that'll be after. But for now, welcome and let's get started. Let's center, which just means really settle and become as present as possible right here and now. And some of the time I'll be sitting back in my chair as usual, but for this, I'm gonna stay here and just let things settle and get in touch with the breath and awareness of the space around you and your chair, how it's supporting you. Maybe you'll notice that your breath begins to settle and become more rhythmic as well. And one of the best tools that you will always have to help you refocus and center yourself more into the present moment is your breath. Noticing your breath, following the breath, and then maybe eventually even shaping your breath. So breathe it really deeply in all the way and then really fully exhale all the way out. You're doing multiple really beneficial things for yourself just by doing that. And I think the golden rule of thumb when it comes to practices such as this, which are very simple yet very profound, and it really takes a minimum of 3 full breaths, minimum, to really get the effect of all the benefit that can bring through you. Connecting with our hearts too is another wonderful practice, and that can be done just by feeling energetically into your heart center throughout the chest, the whole upper torso really. Sometimes placing hands in a certain way that feels right for you. On the heart center, there is this beautiful mudra we call Anjali Mudra, or prayer position, as many of us know, that is also very symbolic and connecting to your heart in some beautiful ways. So we're making that connection in the here and now, your beautiful heart, all of our hearts that we join together in this unity and compassion, support, gratitude. And then remembering that the arms and the hands can very much be a conduit of that heart energy in so many good ways. So at any time, once you feel like you've made that connection and you feel that, knowing that your hands are also very much alive with that energy, place them somewhere that you might be feeling pain, discomfort, or where you know there's healing that you would like to, transfer and acknowledge and be present with. So again, one of those simple yet profound practices that we can incorporate so easily into our everyday lives. And all it really requires, and this is good practice for all of us, is coming into the here and now, choosing to be present in the moment. Now we're going to do a little bit of movement, another way of really getting into the present moment and paying attention to and honoring your body. So I hope that you're feeling comfortable seated in a chair some way, somehow, checking out the space around you and making any little transitions that will help you, or little, shifting in your body at least to make it more comfortable so you can sit up nice and tall. Nice and tall. There we go. Good. And then maybe shake out your arms alongside you or over the arms of your chair, whatever you can do. Yeah. Good. And then let's start to very slowly curl one arm in and down and the other in and out. Alternating. Good. Now you may choose to increase it by lifting your elbow up, maybe a little bit higher. Only if that really feels good though, throughout your range of motion of the shoulder. At any time you can, change your movement, positioning, angle to make it better. Excellent. One more time to each side. And then letting arms and hands shake out again at your sides. We'll address the shoulders again, but in a different way. We're going to shrug the shoulders up by your ears, taking a deep full inhale and exhale, letting go. And again, lifting up and letting go. One more time. Good. And now let's do some shoulder rolls one at a time. So this one I'm going in kind of the rolling back and around forward motion like you were swimming a crawl stroke. And you certainly don't have to be as big with these movements. If there's any pain or strain anywhere, make it more subtle. Explore where your pain-free range of motion guides you. Now let's go with the backstroke rolling, one shoulder at a time, forward, up, back, and down. And now, since we have just shifted how our shoulders are engaging and mobilizing, you may find there's different sensations and you may have a different pain-free range of motion in this particular movement. Yes, and then we'll let the shoulders settle once again, shaking out the arms and the hands. Let's bring awareness down into our legs and feet, using the surface beneath you, lifting your heels, lower, and maybe lift your toes a little bit away from the floor. Even if you do have shoes on, do whatever is possible for you. And moving through the ankles and the joints of the feet, especially at the balls of the toes, and then try to get some energy also through your toes. You could just kind of stretch them out a little bit more in some way, or maybe even kind of wiggle them around when they get a lift, and then lower, lengthen out as you lift your heels. There we go. Very good. One more time. And then I like to really lower and ground through my heels a little bit more definitely. And sometimes it even takes a little bit of a forward lean and pressing your hands into your thighs to really feel your heels getting a good grounding. And then let the rest of your feet all the way up through your toes receive a connection and grounding through that as well as the heels. Sitting up tall once again, full complete breaths. Let's move a little bit and shift in our hips. So just a bit of side to side. If you decide to go to bigger movements, then we can bring hands on the sides of your chair somehow to support and make sure that you're not going to tip off. Good. So this could be, a nice lean and shift from one side to the other, or it could be more subtle where your head and shoulders may not move very much from your center, but you're definitely lifting one hip and then the other. That's it. Very good. And now as you resettle both hips, both sits bones, then sit up nice and tall. Let's do a few marching steps. So this could be lifting and lowering, alternating sides, or it could be just heel lifts away from the floor. You could incorporate some arms into this if you want. This is good coordination work, upper body, lower body coming together to effectively move. Remembering it's your opposite arm that's curling with your lifting leg. That's it, very good. Now you can slow it down or make it more subtle, maybe even pause, maybe just focus on your upper body or just your lower body. But if you have it in you, knowing that this is our bit of warm up here for connecting to our bodies, if you want to go a little faster in some way that feels good, you're breathing, not feeling taxed or like you're going over your threshold of beneficial movement or expenditure of energy, you are honoring that and working within your good range, your beneficial range, before going over that threshold, which is different for all of us, that can take you into perhaps some compromise. So always be on the lookout for those things. Body awareness is one of the top 5, I would say, overall life benefits that come from a regular practice such as this. So we're going to take that with us throughout the rest of our class and maybe even our whole day. But as we have laid out in our agenda for this meeting and class today, we have some other great things that we're very excited to share with you. So, Tony.
Hey guys. How are you? Okay, so we're gonna talk to you a little bit about everything that's going on here and how it's going to evolve and keep going into the future. Basically, we're gonna talk a little bit about what we're gonna do and how everything is going to work out as far as adaptive yoga and fitness is concerned regarding us. So we're gonna give you a little bit of information and I'm gonna share something with you that we created together.
Good.
The governor was saying how what was it? Some essential businesses can open up at the end of the month, but gyms and recreation facilities are still going to be closed. So for the time being, we don't know when those places are going to open up again.
Yeah,
and,
let alone when they're really going to be safe
yeah.
for people to really convene, and
Yes.
there'll be restrictions and limitations on that for sure.
Yes.
And so we want to really make sure that we are able to reach our amazing community and this population that needs to keep moving.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
need to keep coming together and sharing and supporting and moving in a
Yeah,
variety of
yeah.
ways. And maybe months and months before we might even be able to meet in a class or studio.
Yeah.
But we really want to keep this online platform going. It's
Yes.
working really well, don't you
Yes,
think?
It's working great. I mean, and I want to add to what you were saying about, remember the physical class before it ended. All the work that we had to do as far as cleaning the mats and the props beforehand.
Yeah, there was a real big increase in
and that's not going to
output.
change. As soon as we start back physical class again, if we start back physical class,
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I mean, we had enough, we had a very short window just setting up normally.
Yeah.
Now it takes an effort to clean and
Yeah.
sanitize everything before we get started.
Yeah, we'd
And
have
so-
to reschedule
yeah.
the classes to provide more time in between. You might have to shorten the classes, those kind of things. And then knowing too, we're going to be dealing with bleach and all kinds of things too. That is like, wow, that's a lot to consider. Like, keep in mind, is it worth that effort, or should we keep putting our effort into doing what we're doing and helping our people stay healthy and happy and safe in their homes, but very much supporting them.
Yes, and the benefit of what we're doing now, as far as having the ability to donate some props, and also encouraging people to get their own props if they can. Basically, because if we do resume a physical class, you want to be able to have your own props.
So you don't have
for the
to
most part, so you don't have to worry about
disinfect and
I mean, that was so that's one of the things that has to be considered moving forward in the future if there's a physical class again. And so again, a benefit of having these home classes is that, guess what, even when we go back, you're going to want to take your own props. You're going to want to take your own mats and blankets and things like that. And that's just an extra step. It's an extra hazard, carrying extra equipment around. So the benefit of having this at home and doing it at home is that, hey, you just roll it up and put it in the corner. So and
disinfect whenever you want and feel, but since it's not traveling outside of your house, then it's gonna be just fine, and you don't have to worry about that, as well as a lot of other issues as you come out and navigate to get to an actual space and studio inside. So it makes so much sense to work on continuing this online platform as into the future indefinitely.
This is the new foundation, people. This is where we're building it, and so we're going to say that this platform is here to stay. If in the future there is some physical classes, there won't be as many as there were before. And furthermore, we have your health in mind. We have our own personal health in mind. And so we're going to be really doing it more so from the home, from here on out.
Online platforms and private instruction. So we can really tailor to your needs as they change and grow or whatever. And we want to be here on all those different levels, and at some point even go back into one-on-one sessions in your homes if that's feels safe and is possible for you. I see that as being the next step to getting out a little bit more, but the coming together in the classroom situation, there's just so many unknowns, and there'll be many rules and regulations that we'll have to abide by, that it's just like, wow, okay, how's that going to work? But absolutely. This works. We know this works.
And what can you work and get better? In addition to being able to deliver the same value of instruction you would receive in a physical class with us, we also wanted to deliver some of the props that you use in class as well. And here's a little information on that. All right.
Well, so, look at this.
Look at it. I mean, this is amazing. I'm still very surprised about these awesome bolsters you got. I mean, this is incredible. I mean, they are firm. I mean, firm bolsters, very firm. I mean, gosh. These are good bolsters.
These are not going to break down anytime soon.
Anyway, hey everybody.
Hey.
We wanted to talk to you about all this awesome equipment that we got, the stuff that we've been using for years in the yoga room.
Yeah, and we're so happy to have these available to any and all of you that may need this extra prop support for you to continue doing our classes online and also continue your own practice. So say like on Tuesday and Thursday when we don't have classes, over the weekend, whatever, you're gonna have a nice collection of props always there, hopefully in a space that's just right there and calling to you to get there and do some of this stuff. Move, stretch, do what we do safely.
Yeah, well, what I like was, when we decided to start the online streaming class, the main thing was I knew we were going to be able to create exercises that people can do with no equipment or just from the chair.
Very little equipment is necessary.
Yeah, I knew we were going to be able to do that, but I also wanted to be able to do more. basically the same things that we were able to do in the yoga room.
Yep.
And so, we decided that if we had the ability to get the equipment that you use in the yoga room to you, we were going to make that happen.
Yeah. Yep, so we are well on our way. Many of you have received drop-offs at your house, and we're going to continue with that program as long as needed. And those of you that are not local, we will help you find the resources, that things that you need, or send them to you. But especially here for our local community, we want to know that these are available to you, and we want to get them to you.
Well, let's talk about what we have to get to the people.
Okay.
So, what do we have?
So, in addition to these awesome bolsters that you have gotten a good look-see, these are the 4 colors that we have available right now. So, yep, we have a few that have dibs on them, but we'd love for you to have the color of your choice if possible. This yoga mat we talked about a little bit. It's a nice thin one. It works quite well, but it's light and thin, so can be really helpful for a few things. Again, it's not necessary for you to have an effective practice with us, but we want you to know we have these, and of course the block. Mm-hmm.
Yes, block.
Yes.
And the ball as well.
Mm-hmm.
This is the balls we can ship these to people out of state, but at the same time, for those local, we definitely blow them up for you and deliver them to your house. So, it's a challenge blowing them up. So, if you're doing it manually, so we can always blow it up for you. No problem.
Right, happy to do that. Also, when it comes to these bolsters, you're noticing that they are quite firm and a bit heavy. So for those of you that would like to maybe reduce that to make it more user-friendly for you, what we'll do is unzip, and there's an inner lining there that we can also unzip, and it'll take a little doing because these are real tight and firm, but we can remove some of the batting, the cotton batting that's inside, and so take it down a couple pounds or whatever is needed, so it will be a little less plump and less heavy for you. So keep that in mind.
Yes, and we'll also talk about the benefit of having your own equipment as well. So a lot of this stuff is, once we give it to you, it's yours to keep. And so we want to make sure that, if you're doing it at home or you're going to go to a physical class one day, you're going to want to have your own equipment, your own mat, your own bolster, your own block, because times have changed now, and classes will be conducted differently. And you may not want to use the public mats and blocks and bolsters. For sanitary purposes, you might just want to bring your own stuff.
Right. Yeah, makes perfect sense. So let us know what you could use that will help enhance your home practice setup. And if you find that you have props that you're not using, or that these would be better for your situation, like bigger ball, smaller ball, those kind of things, feel free to switch out with us, and it's very likely that there's somebody else right around here that could really use that prop that maybe you're not using. So again, let us know, keep in contact, and we can't wait to get more of these out for you guys.
Yes, and also those of you who will be participating in the Power Beats, we'll have the bucket for you as well as the drumsticks down in front here. So yes, you'll be getting a pair of drumsticks, and those participating in that class will be having a good time with that. And so, but I would say if you get a bucket, you can keep everything inside and throw your ball on top, and there you go. Nice and easy storage.
Yeah, yep. Works out great. Tony and I wanted to reach out to you and say thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We're so grateful to each and every one of you for joining in and participating on these online classes that we've been putting on. And especially thank you so much for your support and your donations. And we hope to see you in the future as well.
Yes, and one of the things when everything started shutting down, we wanted to make sure that you continued your very necessary exercises. So we thank you for your support so much, and due to your support, we were able to help out and give you the very needed props that you need to continue in the class. So we know that it's tough for you guys to go out and get these items as well sometimes, with the stores being closed or things being sold out, and some of the props need to be blown up like the balls, the fit balls, and so that's a challenge. So that we are able to deliver those for you, it's wonderful, and it is all because of your donations. So we thank you so much, and namaste.
Bye for now. And I'd like you to take the next few moments to settle and make yourself as comfortable as possible. We're gonna spend the next 5 to 10 minutes going through meditation practice. So while meditation, especially this form of meditation that I'm going to be offering here today, can be done anytime, anywhere. It doesn't require that you sit very, very still or be very, very relaxed. It can be done even when you're walking. It can be done anyway at any time. So keep that in mind for yourselves as we get ready for this meditation experience. Taking these breaths, you're welcome to close your eyes and just take in these words and feel and register any resonance, again, with the whole phrase or maybe just a word or two. I am vibrant and full of life. I am vibrant and full of life. I am vibrant and full of life. I am protected. I am protected. I am protected. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I am the light of love. I am the light of love. I am the light of love. Breathe, sense, feel. Make note and register any of those words that resonated with you. And if you happen to have a paper and pencil or something close by that you would like to write down as quickly as possible what those words or phrases of resonance were. Otherwise, I will be sending out an email after our meeting today with these 5 different phrases that you could scan through once again and again. Take those that just feel like, oh, yes, words that will help me and benefit me. And here's the thing with mantra that really is the true power of it, and that is repeating it, either silently in your own mind, out loud, chanting or singing it, and even writing it down numerous times. Those are all proven ways that this mantra and affirmation brings it in more and more. with the effect of overriding some of our other mental tendencies, especially the negative ones, the I can't and I wish I could, and those kind of thoughts. And honestly, this is where neuroplasticity really comes into our advantage. Undeniably, the more you repeat it, even if you don't lock, stock, and barrel believe it at first when you start saying it, it's definitely one of those things. It's fake it till you make it, and there's something magical that happens at some point in this repetition that you move out of that mental resistance, the coulda, shoulda, wouldas, whatever they may be, they just start to dissolve away, and new neural pathways are laid. And they are this frequency, this resonance of these powerful words and thoughts. These will turn into thoughts. And many people have reported with days and days of practice over a good long stretch of time, it becomes a way of life. It's not hard. This is very, very easy to do. The hardest part for most people is to overcome the mental resistances to, can't, or those can happen and they will, but I can tell you that can be overridden. And the more you repeat it, the more you'll feel like, oh, and then this is infused in everything, every encounter I have, every entity and object around me, and life in general. And I hope that you will choose to practice and play around with this a little bit more. And like I said, I'll be sending out an email that is also an invitation for any of you to join me in a month-long study group. And it's also kind of an accountability group, so that we will be doing this on a daily basis. The goal is to repeat your word, your mantra, affirmation 100 times every day. And I know that sounds like a lot, but it's actually really the minimum, the very minimum that you will want to really get the effects of this powerful practice. So here's what I'll suggest. 25 times sometime first thing in the morning, 25 times sometime later in the morning, 25 times sometime in the afternoon, and 25 times before you retire and go to bed. But it can be done anytime, any way, and I'll let you choose your way of keeping track that works best for you. There's certainly ancient techniques and things people have been doing for centuries, but I'd like you to figure out what works best for you to keep track of your daily affirmation, mantra repetitions. And then I'm also going to include in that email a couple different scales that are, self-reporting scales on things like pain levels, anxiety levels, other places that you can bring your awareness to before you do your meditations, after you do them, and also as the days and weeks go on. And that's what I'd really like to measure and share and see what we come up with in our own group, and commit to that for the next month. And then with next month's meeting, I will be introducing another technique, another meditation technique, and we can start that again, or you can continue on with mantra meditation as long as you like, and know that it's a very valuable tool to have in your back pocket anytime, anywhere. So I'd love to get feedback on how that is working for you, what challenges you have with it, and support one another in embarking on this very powerfully uplifting practice. Okay. We're going to be drawing our official class to a close here very soon. And then, as I said, we'll be staying on for at least another 15 minutes or longer to give everybody a chance to share or ask questions. Let's just try very hard to stay on topic, and then feel free to write down an email to us any other thoughts or suggestions that we will continue to gather and apply to future classes and future meetings that we will be having together. So we would love to get your feedback, but for now, especially those of you that would like to share your insights that came from the assignment that I put forth in your email invitation yesterday. Any thoughts, any awarenesses would be so welcome, and we'd love to hear. But for now, as we always will do in our classes, in a very deliberate and comfortable way, reconnecting to your heart center and sensing its radiance, its warmth, and its ability to be connected and united with all of these other hearts right here, right now, that we are sharing these moments with. We're coming together, uplifting, supporting, sharing our gratitude, compassion, and love. So I thank you all so much for being here today. Namaste. Good. Okay, who else would like to share insights, thoughts on your assignment or exercise, or anything from this particular meeting here today? Okay, Christy.
And the speech that you two made, wonderful.
Okay.
Oh, thank you very much.
Good. Yep. Who would like to speak next? Janine. Janine, let me unmute you. Okay, dear. Yes.
Okay, I have a few things to say. I really believe what you said about my thoughts are powerful, because I really wanted to look more into meditation. I have done it for off and on for years and read and went to classes, but my big thing is accountability. And so having a support group that we can help each other out and keeping it simple like you did, because I always get stressed out, oh, I should do this and that and twist into a pretzel and whatever. And so thank you so much for offering that. And the other thought I had, which I have shared with you, is I love music, and I think we all do. And to be able to incorporate that is so wonderful.
Yeah.
And then one more thought, maybe two, is that, you know, all of us that have Parkinson's and whatever, we also have probably a lot of other things, health issues. We can be such role models by showing people that we're positive, because I had a tendency at first when my sons would call and say, how are you? I was ready to give them a grocery list. Well, I'm feeling a little dizzy. Well, I can't get my house clean. Well, I don't know what's happening in the world. And I would just say, hey, I'm doing great. I went for a walk this morning, heard from some friends. I made banana pancakes, even though they didn't taste too good. But anyway, I found that we have so much we can do and give. And instead of being so, because I can get so into my own self and all my issues, that I forget there's so much I can do and bring to others in this world, that we all are, just by attending your class and what you and Tony have to offer. So I'm very thankful, and I'm very excited about all the explorations of possibilities going on.
Oh, very
thanks to everybody. Remember, we're role models. Oh, and another thing, I lied to you. I wasn't going to say anything more. But you all know this. Gratitude. Every morning I wake up and I'm so glad for my cat that can purr, and my house and my warm bed, and it's so nice to focus on how much we have to be grateful for. So anyway, thank you very much, and I will be quiet.
Oh, that's
Thank
great,
you.
though.
No, that was great.
Wonderful points to share.
We have great, tremendous gratitude to be able to even do this. You know?
Okay.
So on Fridays, will you be doing the kind of upbeat music and maybe the arm? Is that on Fridays?
Yes. So every Friday,
Yeah, there'll be something.
Tony will be highlighting an aspect of rhythm, movement.
It'll be all in harmony with what you do here, as far as
the yoga moves with, within your pain-free range of motion.
Yeah, okay. So that was Charlie and Trish that had that question. Who else? Joe. Yes, we've been needing to hear from Joe. Together.
Hey, I just wanted to let everybody know that it's great to see everybody. I've been missing you, and it's really fun to do this, and I'll try to do it more often. But I was also thinking it might be a good idea to, I don't have the contact information, but you remember Eileen might like to come in from Massachusetts.
Oh yes,
She might like to participate, so I just thought
she would.
that out there.
Thank you. Yeah, I will definitely email her and let her know. Okay, who else would like to share? Lynn, I'm coming your way. I will unmute you. Here you go. You can speak now.
Oh, I was just going to say humor helps a lot.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, humor is very good for us.
Oh, laughter. I mean, even just a giggle has so much healing. Who else would like to share? Let's see. Pam, would you like to say anything? Okay.
Thank you so much for these classes. They've been wonderful.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Exactly what I needed.
Oh, very good. I'm so glad you made your way to us, and yeah, it's an absolute joy, and let's keep it going. How about Bob? Oh, Mary. I'm gonna go to Mary next, okay? Yeah, Mary.
Oh,
hello.
just wanted to say it. I applaud Janine's comments today. They were just really good and covered a lot of territory.
Oh, thank you.
And then, you're still there. I thought you were leaving early afterwards.
Nope.
No, I'm still hanging around to hear good things about myself. So
Yeah, you can.
I won't miss that.
Let's see. Thank you, Mary, though. How about you, Bob? There you go. Hi, Bob.
Hi.
Hi.
I just want to thank you guys for the opportunity of doing this. I did this a long time ago, 30 years ago, and then came school and then family, and now I'm ready to get back into it again.
Good, yes.
Yeah, this has been great to just see all these people, and we all have kind of the same, goals, I think, So,
Yes.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'd like to see that, you and Tony and Joe and Eileen.
Yeah, and Sherry's also going to be coming in with some capacities too. So yeah, we've got some things formulating now that I'm excited about. We're just going to kind of keep pulling them together, and we'll make those announcements here in the near future.
Okay, well, thanks.
Yeah, you are so welcome. Thank you, as always.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to say goodbye to everybody.
Okay, so nice.
And thank you so much. It was
Absolutely.
wonderful.
Good to see you guys.
And I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for all your time today.
Bye-bye.